Welcome, boys and girls, to a scientific journey of classifying physical and chemical changes, what they are, and where we can see them in real life. Let's go! When we think of a physical change, what comes to mind? In a physical change, the appearance of the matter changes, but the kind of matter in the substance does not. For example, we take a frozen ice cube, but after time, it melts. The physical appearance is different, but the substance, being water or H2O, is still the same. Cool, right? Now, who doesn't love making paper aeroplanes? We begin with a piece of paper and we fold it. The physical appearance changes, but each is still made up of paper. Now, physical changes in matter are considered to be reversible when we look at solids, liquids, and gases. In our melted ice cube before, we could refreeze it to be an ice cube again, an example of a liquid back to a solid. Now we are up to chemical changes. Stay with me. A chemical change is one that occurs when the particles that make up two or more substances are rearranged and form a new substance. Basically, in chemical changes, we are changing the identity and chemical makeup of that substance. One thing I love is camping and making a campfire. When we start, we gather sticks and firewood and we burn them. This is a chemical change called combustion, and one that cannot be undone, as we end up with burnt wood and ash, and we can't get it back to its original state of firewood. Anytime we use the process of burning, we are creating a chemical change. There is evidence you can look for in a chemical change occurring. When matter undergoes a chemical change, there is a change in colour. Sometimes we may smell chemical changes and see a release of light and gas. Occasionally, they even require the giving off or taking in of heat. Okay, boys and girls, now we know the difference between the two, let's investigate and get some evidence of classifying changes. Who loves cake? Better yet, who has baked one before? Well, there's loads of science happening when you cook. We begin with our ingredients: flour, sugar, milk, and eggs. In order to make the cake batter, we have to mix together the different types of matter. Mixing the ingredients together in the bowl, they undergo a physical change. From dry flour, eggs, and milk, we combine and mix, and presto, it becomes a liquid batter. Yum! But we can't leave it just as batter in the bowl, we need to cook it. So once we pop it in the oven, after a few minutes, we have a new substance: cake. This is an example of a chemical change. The cake takes in the heat applied from the oven. It transforms from the substance of batter to a yummy, fluffy cake. But are there other signs of chemical changes occurring? Let's investigate. Using our checklist, let's see what other chemical changes we notice. Did you see a colour change? Well, of course. We started with a white batter and now it's a goldeny brown, yummy cake. Was there a smell? Well, we all know when we cook a yummy cake like this, the smell fills the room, making our mouths water. These are all examples and evidence of a chemical change in action. Wow, so now we know that in a physical change, we see a change in appearance but the same substance, and in a chemical change, there is a whole new substance formed. Now you can see, boys and girls, that physical and chemical changes are occurring in the world around you, at home, in your kitchen, and at school. Keep an eye out for them, and remember that science is everywhere.